Hello, hello, everyone. I'm just gonna get some water and my charger.
Trendline, which I don't have those trend lines on. But what I typed is, if Bitcoin follows this channel and pushes the downturn, I'll call it trend reversal at 5. Trend reversal would be
Okay, let me just plug in, and then I didn't realize my computer was not on. Okay, how is everyone? Can you guys see me, hear me? Yeah? Great. Okay, I'm just gonna hear you guys because I can hear some wind in the background. All right. Awesome. All right, welcome everyone to our weekly trading call. So this training call is going to look at a little bit of an advanced Facebook ad and analytics, Google Analytics strategy. So just so everyone's aware, if this is your first call, I'm Kat. Basically on this call today, we've got a real mix. We've got people from Ad Hacks Premium, FATC Academy, and the Mastermind. Looks like we've got a really full house, which is pretty awesome. So what we're going to be looking at today is I'm going to be taking you through, I decided to, like, at the last minute, I was like, okay, actually what we're going to do is I'm going to take you from the beginning of a funnel through to the end of a tracking to show you how it's like all implemented through. And so I kind of like made that decision last minute. So bear with me. We're going to be working off a dummy funnel here. It's not the prettiest thing at all. But I'm going to be showing you how to set up UTM parameters so that we can actually see which ad at the top of our funnel resulted in conversions. Because here's the thing, when we run ads in Facebook, Facebook has a 28-day click and 1-day view attribution window by default. You can change that. I don't recommend you do. I don't really know why you would change that, but you can, that's their default attribution window, which is great. But here's the problem. Pretty much, I would hope most of you guys on here are running retargeting for a lot of your campaigns, right? Would you agree? Especially e-commerce, right? Or if you're working with coaches, they have a lot of retargeting campaigns going on. And so what's going to happen is when you go into your Facebook ads, your retargeting campaigns are going to get attributed with all of the conversions, right? Because remember, it is the last ad that got clicked or viewed within 28 days or 1-day view that Facebook will attribute it. So for those of you that are kind of just getting started out, not trying to confuse you, although today is a bit more of an advanced training, just FYI. For those of you that are getting started out, if I see an ad and I click on that ad and it sends me to the website, and then 2 days later I see a retargeting ad and I decide to go back on the website, even if I don't click on that ad, maybe I had the browser open from last time and I had all my shopping cart items in there and I was like, oh yeah, I need to buy those jeans before they sell out. And I go back to the website and I purchase it. Which ad or how is Facebook going to assign the conversion to both of those ads, or which ad is it going to assign it to? Do you guys know? Yeah. The last one that was viewed, Karen. So the retargeting in this situation. So it's 28-day clicked, 1-day view. So even if I just saw the retargeting and I didn't click on it, they would get attributed to the retargeting within 1 day. If I then went and bought 2 days later and I didn't click on the retargeting, it would get attributed to the first ad, right? Makes sense? And then anything after 28 days, it's gone. It's in the abyss. It's gone in the black hole of nothingness unless you're running offline event tracking. So that's something else to bear in mind, guys. Some of you guys, especially with higher ticket e-commerce items or higher ticket events or anything like that, anything that's above sort of that $500 mark, you're going to have way longer than 28-day conversion windows for a lot of those because it's a high ticket item. People are going to wait till money comes in the bank a lot of the times to pay for it. So set yourself up with some offline event tracking for that stuff, okay? Okay, so here's the problem. Your retargeting ad most of the time is going to get all the credit for all of the work, which is fine, right? Because if you're looking at an overall account, you're going to the client going, yes, we've got a CPA of $40. We're doing really, really well. We got you 200 sales this month. But as an advertiser, what you want to know is actually, let's say you've got like 3 or 4 different funnels at the top that you're running, which one of those is actually the one that is leading to ultimately the customer, right? And so it's a lot of stabbing in the dark because Facebook is not going to show you that. It's not going to show you that data. It's not going to show you where those customers ultimately came from at the top. So I'll give you guys an example of context of this, and maybe someone else has an example of this in a different industry. Would love for you guys to share it in the chat. But for our own funnels, so like for example, Academy or FATC, we have, and even our agency ones, we have like quite a few funnels at the top. So we've got one that's going to a proposal document. We've got one for client auditing training. We've got one for an agency training. We've got lots and lots of different funnels for different types of training. And what we look for is we do look for which one of those at the top of the funnel gets us good results, because that's always promising. But then we're really, really blind in terms of, okay, well, maybe one of these at the top of the funnel doesn't look so healthy. It's not actually getting us any results at the top of the funnel. But if we go and turn that off without actually realizing, well, people that go through that funnel, they may not convert right away, but they're all the ones going through the retargeting. So actually, all of your results are really coming from that one funnel that you think isn't doing a good job for you. Yeah, exactly, John. So pretty much any one of you guys that is running more than one funnel at the top is going to run into this problem where your only other option, aside from tracking this properly through analytics or any, it doesn't have to be analytics, but we're going to use Google Analytics here. Aside from tracking this through URL parameters, your only other option is to really pause one funnel at a time to see what the impact is, which is extremely redundant and it's just going to take a lot of work to do that. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to set up URL parameters and then how to set that up in Google Analytics so that we can then actually see which specific top of funnel ad ultimately led to conversions inside of our our campaigns. Cool? Sounds good? Who's doing this already, by the way? Shanda? One person? Brian? Woo! Karen? Awesome. All right. Who has not heard of this before? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'm going to take you through a funnel that I kind of like quickly set up in where's my Zoom window? Okay, can you guys all see that? Let me just pull up the chat. Awesome, cool. Okay, so I've just gone into ClickFunnels and I've created a well, I've literally just clicked on create a funnel. And it's a two-step opt-in funnel. So I'm going to actually show you like the setup from the word go. And then I'll take you into Google Analytics as well and show you how to bring this up inside of Analytics. I'll take you into the ad account, show you how to set that up in the ad, and then I'll take you into Google Analytics and show you how we would look at those results inside of Analytics, okay? So this is basically a funnel. The first thing that you need to make sure that you have is all of your tracking in place across all of you. I'm just gonna select a random page here. Across all of your funnels. Including your Facebook pixel. I hope I don't have to tell you this. The second thing that we want to do here is we want to set up goal tracking with our analytics so that we can actually track the goals, conversions that we're interested in, whether that's in a webinar opt-in or someone purchasing or someone adding something to cart or someone even just submitting their information for a quote, okay? And so I'm inside of Analytics here. This is one of our kind of a dummy account. And we're setting up the goals. This is under your admin console. So when you're in the home, in your Analytics, you just click on admin and then you click on goals. I'm not gonna go too much into the interface of Google because it's like a whole different beast, guys. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna select this page right here. A tip with ClickFunnels is never copy this link, just FYI guys, especially if you're doing custom conversions, because they dynamically change. It's really frustrating. So always preview it when you do that. You can add a value and then you can make it optional whether or not it's part of a funnel that you build within Analytics as well. So I'm going to leave these off for now. You can like say, I don't know, if there is a value to that. Okay, so now we've got some tracking in place in terms of our goal inside of our funnel. The next step that we want to do is we're going to start driving ads to this funnel. So typically what will happen inside of your analytics, this is Google Analytics. This is like a dead website here. It's a dummy account. So there's really nothing going on here. But typically what will happen is, let me show you. I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Yeah. So typically what will happen is Google will show you a lot of traffic from referrals. So normally when you go into analytics, if you haven't set up tracking properly inside of your with URL parameters inside of your ads, a lot of the traffic that you will see or that your client will see from analytics dashboard will come under referral based traffic. And that's only because Google wasn't able to pull where the source was from as part of one of the UTM parameters. So a lot of it will be bucketed under referral, and your client will start thinking, well, this isn't working, or you're starting to think, well, my ads are not working even though there's more traffic. What's going on? It's not getting attributed to it. So excuse me, this is why it's important to do this, okay? So let me go back to the other one here. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to start driving traffic into this funnel here, and this is going to be our link. And you have a couple tools that you can use. You have Facebook has a native URL builder. So this one is, well, I'll share this link in the chat right now, guys, for those of you that have never used this before. Let me put this in right now. There you go. And then you also have one under your Google Analytics, under your tools. You can also create one in here. The Facebook one is, I really like that one. It's pretty much the same thing, okay? So the main ones that I want to talk to you guys about, the ones that are required as part of it, is obviously you need to have the URL. So let's go and swipe our URL here. This is where we're driving ads to. This is where our ad is going to go to. So we're going to go and punch this in here. Now the source is really the, this is going to show up under here as, let me go back into Cat Howl here. The source is basically like Facebook, Google, Twitter, Banner, I don't know. If you are an agency, I would actually make yourself the source. So I would actually make your name the source so that you actually come, Reddit, yeah, you actually come up as the source instead of just Facebook. So that keeps things really clean, and you can see right away, okay, everything under here is actually credited to us. This is our ads that are running towards this client. So if I go under, so source up here, you'll see here, this is actually one of our agency partners. So Jody, she helps us with our stuff. And then you'll see here, Facebook, we obviously don't do anything else really. And then we've got some of our bot. So the source is where you, the main traffic is coming from. So where you're gonna attribute that traffic from, okay? Now here's what's really, really important, guys. You noticed when I was showing you that there was 2 social Charlies in there. Like, keep your naming conventions really, really clean. Because if you don't, it doesn't consolidate together and it gets really, really messy in terms of attribution. So for example, if you're naming Facebook like lowercase Facebook one time and then uppercase Facebook another time, or you're doing FB another time, it's going to show up like it's going to show up differently inside of your reporting. It's going to be a lot harder for you to consolidate that reporting and get a clear picture of what's actually happening with your funnels, okay? So here, for example, I might do 8Loop. That might be the source. Campaign medium. Again, this is basically like the type of traffic. So was it paid? Was it organic? Are you paying for impressions? So here they're giving suggestions because this is the Facebook one. They're saying like CPC, CPM, OCPM. But you could really make this like paid, ad, organic, I don't know, something like that. So here we'll just do OCPM because it's a conversion objective campaign. And then campaign name is the other one that's required. So that's the last one that's required. Now here this is why it's so important to have good naming conventions in your campaigns, right? So here's where you would go something like proposal doc. Because we'll pretend that this is a proposal document, okay? Let's pretend this is a proposal document. It's one of our funnels. We're getting people to opt into a proposal doc. So we'll name this one proposal doc so that when it shows up under our campaign in analytics, we can see which actual funnel led ultimately to conversions or tracked some goals, assigned goals towards it. And with this, you can even go further into this. So you can add a campaign term. So you might say, okay, LLA here, and then add, you know, to or whatever. And then what it's going to do is it's going to create, when you push create URL, it's going to create this kind of URL for you right here. So here's how we put this inside of Facebook ads. So we're going to go and create a campaign. This is our dummy account, so it's in arrears. And it has Power, what? It has Power Editor. Whoa. Long time no see, my friend. We're going to use this one because Power Editor is no more. It used to be that you could only add UTM parameters as well using Power Editor, but obviously now you can do this using Ads Manager. Okay, so we're just going to go and create our campaign, proposal doc downloads. And you're going to give it your nice, you know, naming conventions. And then do all of this. And where this magic happens is down. Oh, sorry, I need to move this window. What did I say? I called it 2 or something. Okay, so I'm just going to go and pull this URL here, and I'm going to put it in here. And then, you know, whatever. We'll just leave this blank for now. And then this is where we're going to add our parameters, all right? Now, it's everything after this question mark. Because if you do this through Google, it's going to give you this question mark as well, okay? So it starts from UTM. So copy this, and you're going to put it basically in here. This used to only be done through Power Editor. So if we look at this, sorry, let me just save it. So you'll see here, if we look at this code, it's got the source, 8 loop. It's got the referral medium. And then it's got the campaign name, which is proposal, okay? So let me go and preview this. This is not gonna show up in analytics fast enough, I don't think, but we'll see. Well, this funnel is not really built. So if you just put the full link in the URL option, it doesn't. However, it's been known to sometimes cause issues in reporting. So I would use the URL parameters. What do they call it? Box or whatever that they provide you with. Okay, so if we go back in, obviously add your pixels and everything like this to here. But so if I then go through here and I created this goal through this page, but let's say I opted into this page, and then on the back of this, I encouraged people to purchase something or to book a call, and I had a goal set up for that through analytics, okay? And so what I would then do is I'd go into my campaigns, and I'm going to show you this inside of my account as well, where there's actually data happening. And then under your acquisition, what you're going to see is this is going to show you, if you go under source, it will show you like the source. So it would show you 8 loop. There's nothing here. It hasn't fed back yet. But it would show you 8 loop. And then if I went and clicked on that or clicked on campaign, it would actually show me proposal doc. And then over here, it would show me the number of targets that were hit as a result of this. So I could go through my analytics and start to see exactly where my conversions have come from, which funnel at the top of my funnel have led to, because you're using these parameters. Does this make sense so far, everyone? If you have a question, sing out, okay? Because I know. So the key, yeah. It doesn't, oh, okay. But yeah, because you're beginner, yeah. all you're doing is you're adding a tracking snippet essentially to your ad so that your tracking tool, whatever you're using, in this case, analytics, Google Analytics, can identify where customers ultimately initially came from. Because if you have a lot of things running at the top of your funnel, so you have a lot of different downloads or lead magnets or funnels essentially, you inside of your Facebook Ads Manager, it's only really going to attribute that conversion, that ultimate conversion, to your retargeting ads. So this is why using UTM parameters is actually extremely powerful for Facebook marketers because it allows you to clearly see which funnel is ultimately leading to those conversions. So a couple of really important things here, guys, is one, make sure that you are very, very standardized in terms of your naming conventions here, all right? If you start to mix all of this up and have ad here or paid here or OCPM here, it's going to like mess everything up inside of your reporting because it's all going to be separated out. The same thing applies to your campaign name. If I have like 3 different campaigns, but they're all leading to my proposal doc, I should, all of them, each and every single ad inside of those campaigns should have the campaign name proposal doc. Because then it's all consolidated inside of Google Analytics versus, you know, I use PD for one of them and proposal doc. So making sure you standardize all of your naming conventions. And then the second thing is having goal tracking in place. And there's a lot of training on YouTube about setting that up. I'm sure there's a lot of, if you're like a Google Ninja, sing out in the chat box so people know that you're here if they want to hire you or something like this to set this up for clients that they may not be super comfortable doing this with, but also making sure that you have that tracking in place, okay? Because if you don't have that, if you don't even have your Google Analytics tracking on your site, like none of this is gonna really work. So that's the second thing. And then when you're inputting this or creating this UTM link, this URL link, you have 2 options. You can use this Google Analytics one. You can also use this native Facebook one. I prefer this one. I just like it. And then copying everything from here. In fact, I even think if you copy the question mark, Facebook deletes it automatically, but just copy after the question mark and paste it inside of Facebook in the bracket provided to you right here under URL parameters, all right? And each ad, like you can have the same URL parameters for different creatives. Like that may not be a big deal to you to know specifically which creative led to the conversion. But I would recommend that you actually keep this separate as well. So where is it? Campaign content. So you name that something separate as well. So you can actually see which specific ad led to that. Or you don't even have to name it like ad 1 or ad 2. You can name it something like the type of copy or the angle that you came from. So for example, if one of your ads is talking about scaling and then the other one is talking about, so it's a proposal doc, but it's the ad creative is like, hey, are you wanting to scale? Here's a proposal doc that's going to help you scale because you'll get more clients by landing them. And then another ad creative, it's also the same proposal doc, same funnel, but the content of that ad is talking about, hey, are you wasting too much time on your creative? So you can make this one like, so you identify it even easier inside of your analytics, like scaling and wasting. So right away when your analytics, if you're the one that created the ads, you can actually see, oh, this is my ad creative about scaling. And then this is my one too. The other, Ryan, isn't this why Todd Brown built his conversion fly tracking software? Wait, I think I'm lost here. Let me just go back through these questions 1 second. Karen, do you want to unmute yourself? So how are you using this?
So just like you were just talking about with different ad, a blue cell phone case and a purple cell phone case or a green one, we can figure out which ad is really driving more sales. And we also use it for reporting discrepancies. So if you've got a weird like double pixel fire thing going on and there's any kind of discrepancy about results, this is a backup.
Awesome. Yeah, so when you go through here, you basically name it like purple or green or yellow
Exactly.
case. And then inside of your analytics, you can see, because your retargeting would be DPA, I'm assuming, for
Yep.
E-commerce. And so it'd be very hard to see which ad at the top of the funnel ultimately led to a lot of those sales. Yeah, pretty cool. So there's still some funny things that happen with this that you need to be aware of. Like, for example, I don't know, maybe one of you guys that is a little bit more advanced with Google can correct me on this, but as far as I'm aware, mobile apps, so traffic from mobile apps do not work very well with these parameters. But I don't know that that's... So like I'm assuming if you're running stuff on Audience Network, you're going to have some issues with some of your UTM parameters. So that's something to be aware of. Mobile is desktop, like no mobile newsfeed is fine. So it's also important to filter our ghost spam traffic. Acts similar to base Facebook pixel code in that you have to have the base code on the site to use the UTM. Well, it's analytics. It's Google Analytics, right? So yes, you need to have, so when you're in your analytics, you go in here, and then you've got your tracking code, pretty similar. The difference between the pixel and the Google tracking code, and in many ways, Facebook is kind of superior here, just saying, because Google is not able to really target you cross-device. It's basically a cookie, okay? So it's one device that it tracks the IP, whereas Facebook, anyone that's logged, Facebook uses a combination. So Facebook uses your Facebook login details, which we pretty much are always logged into all of our devices. So we're logged into our mobile, we're logged into our iPads, we're logged into our desktop. So that's how it tracks you, is through your login. And it actually also uses cookies as well. So that's how it's able to track you. There's also other things you can do with Facebook, and I might do a separate training on this, but you can add advanced matching to your Facebook pixel. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. They released this in maybe about a year and a half ago. And essentially any information that you're collecting through your website, like if someone is made to log in or sign up or register through your website, and you're collecting phone numbers, emails, anything like that, you can pass all of that information back to Facebook, and that will improve the accuracy of the tracking. This is especially good to get around blockers, ad blockers, or you know, things that block pixels, for example, because essentially you're giving Facebook a better chance to match that visitor to an actual person that it can then retarget. Because if you think about it, you have to consider that about 30% of the stuff that you're actually running right now is not being attributed properly. Like the sales that you're seeing in your reporting, a lot of the times there will be a discrepancy because not all of the time Facebook will be able to match those people. And you see that when you create custom audiences, right? It's normally about 70% of a custom audience that will be uploaded. So when you add advanced matching to your pixel and you pass information like emails, phone numbers, that kind of stuff, names, it increases, I think it increases that match rate by about 10%. So it's pretty significant if you're driving a lot of traffic through. Yes, Celeste, I've been doing this with the Google URL builder and then shortening it to a shortened link. Yes, so Celeste, okay, a couple of things here. I have been wary of using shortened. I've seen a lot of people do that. So shorten, you know, a UTM URL. But I have heard some instances where sometimes that messes up with the tracking. So I've just been wary of that. The second part of that is that shortened links are basically almost creating a redirect, right? So they're masking the URL, which in some instances is really good. Like if you're doing something dodgy or you're running ads to a Facebook group, which you're not supposed to be doing, like running ads to a Facebook link, then you do need a shortened URL. And if your client has an ugly ass link like this right here, you know, and I actually run a lot of funnels with these ugly links, then yeah, they tidy them up. But what they do is, because they're kind of creating a bit of a redirect, is they add speed load times to that. And that's what Facebook doesn't like. So it's not specific to Bitly or Google shorteners. It's in general, any shortener will typically increase page speed load times ever so slightly. But ever so slightly sometimes has a massive impact on your CPM, on your CPC, on your ultimate results, how you're going to compete in that auction process. So I use it if it is a product image or a person. I'm not understanding that. After you use the URL builder, yes, so it actually feeds automatically in Ariana. So it goes automatically into your Google Analytics. You can set up funnels to track certain things, and you can see flows as well. But if you pull up the source, it will show up under source. And if you pull up campaign, it will show up under campaign. LLA is just lookalike audience. So campaign term, for example, this is what I know, like this is the audience. For me, this is what I would use to distinguish the audiences. So here could be LLA, it could be engaged post, I don't know, 90 days. Yeah. Man, you guys are already answering these questions. I'm not fast enough. DPA, dynamic product ads. So those are ads that are showing you automatically what you looked at on the website. So if you ever visit Amazon, Amazon does a really good job of that. It will retarget you with all the things you looked at. So if you're doing e-commerce, and there's more than 20 product SKUs, or I would say even like 5 product SKUs, you're probably going to be using DPA in your retargeting. Yes, so Brian is spot on here. The campaign term, yeah, so campaign term is in terms of Google, that's normally like the term you're using for your search advertising. But for this, you just use it as an identifier, yeah. Yes, it is possible to do dynamic UTM values. Has anyone ever done this? Because I haven't done this in a while. And since they merged things, I don't know how to do this in Ads Manager. It is possible. Make sure that the images on your funnels are compressed to make sure that you don't overload. Yeah, like, can you retarget off people who have been to a specific UTM link? Yeah, but I would say that that's making it more complicated for you. I would say that the purpose of the UTM link is so you can actually just run like one blanket retargeting to everyone that came through relevant funnels. And then you can see versus like what you would then have to do is set up like 7 different retargeting or many more. So I don't know that that's, yes, you can mask your ClickFunnels URL. Yeah, so Brian just shared the link for the dynamic URL. I have a gym client that goes to MindBody and I can't track on that site. I'm just wanting me. Okay, let me show you my account, okay? Button, wait, I have a gym client that goes to MindBody and I can't track on that site. I'm just wanting to know if I can track or retarget based off a UTM. No. If you don't have if you don't have a pixel, you won't be able to retarget. Yeah. Odie, it will be recorded, but you can't hear me, so. Okay, well, I don't know, Katya. It sounds like that's like a niche specific type of thing, but someone here, Shanda and Vanessa, seem to know something that works with websites and that thing. But if a Facebook pixel, guys, is what allows you to track anything that happens off of Facebook, right? And so when you're running lead ads or anything that happens within Facebook, you don't need the pixel. But you should still make your clients have that on their website, super important. But anything that happens off of a Facebook property needs to have the Facebook pixel. Otherwise, there's you're pretty much running in the dark and there's not much you'll be able to do in terms of that. Okay, so I'm gonna, excuse me. I'm gonna take you into, because this is obviously a new one. Let's see if it came through. Sometimes it takes an hour or two for this stuff to come through. Yeah. What I really like about Google, though, is the real-time stuff. Especially when you're launching new websites and then you sit there just going like, oh, how many people are on the site at the moment? All right. Five people. Isn't that amazing? Okay, cool. So this is the Cat Howl one. All right, someone's having a discussion about MindBody. I'm not sure what that is. So, okay, so I'm going to go under acquisition, under my campaigns. So this is for the week. And you'll see here, this is this part here. So at the campaign, we are here, this one here. So this is what you would see. And then for source, if you wanted to see the source, you would just go here, okay? And that's what I was showing you before. Now, the reason I was hesitant to show you this is that this is not, obviously our goals is all out of whack. Let me see. Yeah, because I think we just recently redid a bunch of stuff. So, but what you would see here when it's set up properly is you would see, okay, yeah, so there was, yeah, we've just recently redone a bunch of shit, which is like made our goals all over the place and our tracking a little bit weird. But okay, so under acquisition, campaigns, what you'll see here, this is the source, which is basically this thing here. Campaign source. And so you'll see Facebook, Google, Twitter, and then Social Charty, which is Jody. But again, see how she used 2 different naming conventions here. So it's not consolidated it together. So she has, yeah. And then we've got the bot, and this one is actually Rutger that does this for us. So we've got our bot here. And then if I go under campaign, it would then start to show me all of this thing here. So whatever was named inside of the UTM of that campaign. So I can start to see this in here, and I can scroll down and drill down even more into each of these, and then see at the goal level which one of those. This is not reporting properly though, and that's because we've changed some shit around. So just so you're aware, this would show your goals. You can add values. So remember how I showed you we added $100. It might show you how much you made out of that. And then it shows you the conversion values from those as well. So that's kind of what it looks like inside of an account once it's set up, although this is probably not set up properly. All right, let me look at this. Okay, cool. Does anyone have any other questions about this, or does anyone want to share any other cool strategies that they use with this? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'll just double check the dynamic URL builder, guys, because I know Facebook has one, but I haven't used it since PE merged with Ads Manager, and I'm just nervous to go in there and take you guys on a tiki tour that's just gonna confuse you guys. So let me double check that, and I'll record a short video on how to do that, how to dynamically create these UTM parameters with the dynamic UTM builder that Facebook provides us. Any other questions, let me know. I would highly encourage all of you guys to get this set up across your campaigns as fast as possible, because this will really, really give you a lot of insight into what's going on. And especially if you're ever, like Karen said, coming across some misfires with the reporting, or clients are saying to you like, oh, this is, you know, I don't think this is really working, or et cetera, et cetera. Just overall optimizing your campaigns, having a better idea on what you're doing. Cool. So I'll record a video of that. Kelly. So you keep a track in a spreadsheet. Is that right, Kelly? You're on mute though. Do I sound sick? Blake's private messaging me. Yes. Oh, it's a dynamic spreadsheet. Wow. Wow. Sell that shit, man. Okay, cool. So, well, Kelly's going to share her spreadsheet. I'll still record a video as soon as I figure out this dynamic thing with the new format that Facebook has. And any issues whatsoever, let me know, guys. And yeah, we might revisit this, and actually I might do a bit of training around that advanced matching with the Pixel. It's got a little bit of, it's a bit of a dev thing, so I'm just a bit wary of that. It'll be a really advanced training, and I'll have to pull in Tom for that one, but we'll do a training around that. I'm just putting together the schedule for March training. Our next training, which is coming up next week, we've had a lot of people request to talk about sequences. So what should come in a bot sequence and what should come in an email sequence. So you hear a lot of things like the soap opera sequence. What is that? How do you structure that? How do you structure a bot sequence? So we'll have a look at that, which is not really ad related, but it's important. It's more of a funnel setup. We've had some requests around competitions and campaigns. I have run a lot of competitions in my days for my own businesses and for clients' businesses. I'm constantly testing them out. I have a lot of insights around what works and what doesn't. I've spent a lot of money on them. So we'll do one of those in March as well. We've had a lot of votes for real estate, so we'll do a live campaign build for a realtor. And then I think the last request that we've had, it's either going to be between DPA, because we had a lot of people asking for DPA again, And then, or small business strategies. So how do you drive traffic into local stores? So we'll do something like that. And I'll, oh yes, no, it was travel. Yes, that was the one. Yes, that was Tom, that whole discussion in the mastermind. Travel DPA. That is going to be a beast, that call. And that is definitely going to be Tom running that one, because that is insane. Travel DPA is one of the hardest things to pull off. So we'll do, those are going to be our 4 trainings for March. Any other trainings, still tell me, because I will populate April as well. And we'll take it from there. Okay, so I'll have that dynamic DPA video for you guys and instructions on that soon. Get this rolling across your accounts ASAP. It's super easy to set up, guys, and it's going to help give you so much clarity. For those of you guys that are Google pros, just sing out in the group, man, because some people may want to hire you. They may want to be like, screw this, I don't want to set this shit up. It's not my thing, you know? All right, guys, so have an awesome day today. Thanks, everyone, for joining me on the call. And I'll speak to everyone soon. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Kelly, everyone that contributed. See you guys. Bye. I don't know how to end this thing now. There we go. All right. I'll get my coat.